An Introduction to Business Process Modeling and Notation. What is BPMN, and why do we need it? The goal for our overall program includes videos and modules covering Lift for Management /UAIM, Modeling, Analysis, and Improvement. Please note that not all of these videos or modules are complete. About this module. The aim of this module is to introduce you to business process modeling and notation in the context of the Water Environment Federation Leaders Innovation Forum for Technology for Management Objectives, as part of the Utility Analysis Improvement Methodology Project. It covers the definition and purposes of goal-driven business process management, and the relation of business process modeling to BPMN. It also includes a simple, fully UAIM-compliant example to demonstrate how to develop a business process model that follows the BPMN standard. Finally, it also highlights a few BPMN and business modeling resources. Who is this module for? The target audience for this video is any utility partner or consultant that is tasked with business process modeling and managing business modeling activities. The material is also of interest to managers looking for improved tools to help them describe their business processes in a clear and concise way. BPMN was defined to encourage an explicit and shared meaning that any business manager can use immediately to improve descriptions of their business processes. Anyone who wants to understand existing UAIM BPMN models to understand how improvements can be realized. What will be covered in this module? Lift for Management Objectives, Business Process Management, Business Process Modeling and BPMN. The 6 essential elements of BPMN. Learning more about BPMN. Lift for Management Objectives. Establish the utility analysis and improvement methodology for documenting and improving business processes in a water sector utility. Create a knowledge repository that allows utilities to efficiently and effectively share information about their processes, practices, and metrics. To facilitate the sharing of business process information, we needed a common, standard notation for business process models so that everyone speaks the same language when describing their models. In a water sector utility, many people work in different business units, and perform their work. They are executing business processes. To create value for the organization and the customers, people interact within the organization to execute a number of different business processes. Technology is used to facilitate and enable the execution of many of these business processes. Business Process Management. Business process management is a systematic approach to understanding the workflows and data flows that represent how we manage a water or wastewater utility. Business process management considers both people and technology as resources that can improve organizational performance through the delivery of increasing value to all stakeholders in a water sector enterprise. Business process management creates a high level of transparency that encourages quality management, enables certification by standards organizations, helps to understand issues with succession planning, and guides the use of appropriate technology in support of value generation. An important modeling concern is capturing the decisions that drive workflow. We make thousands of decisions, large and small, every day in a utility, and it's important to understand how these decisions are made, including the data required, processes involved, and the goals achieved. Business process management forces us to understand actual and potential activity-based and resource-based costs so that we can keep these costs under control, and understanding resource allocations enable more effective and efficient planning for optimal use of resources. With technology advances occurring rapidly, business process management enables us to identify where technology is best applied and where it is not a feasible alternative, especially from a cost perspective. All of these features enable utility managers to envision and realize a water or wastewater utility that is more integrated and higher performance. Business process modeling is a tool to enhance business process management. The business process modeling standard used in the UAIM project is the Business Process Model and Notation, or BPMN. This standard is curated by the Object Management Group, or OMG, an international, open membership, not-for-profit technology standards consortium. OMG standards are driven by vendors, end users, academic institutions, and government agencies. OMG task forces develop enterprise standards for a wide range of technologies and industries. BPMN is the result of a collaboration between a group of major international organizations such as IBM, NIST, Oracle, SAP, and Software AG. These organizations saw the need for a consolidation of 50-plus years of research and application of business process or workflow technologies. Their goal was to create a single standard that combines the best features of these technologies. The latest version of the BPMN standard, version 2.02, was released in January 2014, and is used in the UAIM project for the business process models contained in the UAIM repository. BPMN was also adopted by the ISO, IEC as Standard 19510-2013. BPMN has become the de facto standard for business process modeling in many industries, and this level of adoption creates many advantages for utility partners, including access to many free resources on the Internet, software tools, modeling patterns, communities of BPMN users, and numerous case studies and examples of the most effective ways to use BPMN. BPMN appeals to both business and technical professionals. The business process model. Business process models are similar to blueprints for engineering design, or hydraulic models that describe how water flows through a network. They document and describe how work is accomplished by people, and how technology enables and supports different activities. This is an example of a business process model, developed by Orange County, Florida to describe their process for inspection of pumping stations. On the next several screens, we will use this model to help describe the 6 essential elements of BPMN. Please note that this is a high-level business process model. An advantage of BPMN is that it allows for creation of comprehensive models by describing each task in greater detail. There are 6 essential elements of BPMN that we use in the UAIM project. You only need to understand these 6 elements to create effective BPMN standards compliant models for the UAIM project. 1. Pools and swim lanes. 2. Events. 3. Activities. 4. Gateways. 5. Connectors. 6. Data objects and systems. Details of each of these elements are presented on the following screens. 1. Pools and swim lanes. Pools and their swim lanes define the scope of responsibility for a business process. The responsible parties are the roles of an organization, the people, departments, divisions, or other groups that individually or collectively have primary responsibility for the process. A pool can be used to define an organization, for example water utility. Lanes can then further define the departmental units within pools, for example engineering, financial services, human resources, etc. In our example, the pool is Orange County Utilities, and the lanes include construction, engineering, a supervisor role, and crew. 2. Events. An event in a business process represents the occurrence, or something that happens at a point in time, and which affects workflow in that process. By convention, they are labeled to describe what happens using noun-verb format. For example, work order arrives. Or, in our case, a scheduled pump station inspection or service request is the starting event. 3. Activities. Activities describe the different work steps in a business process. By convention, they are labeled by the action describing what happens in the task using verb-noun format, for example, prepare a work order. There are several activities in our example, as highlighted. 4. Gateways. Gateways are used in process models to specify alternative paths. They split workflow in 2 or more paths, or merge paths that combine. Gateways document the impact of decisions represented in activities that precede the gateways. They indicate the different paths work may take as a result of those decisions. 5. Connectors. Connectors are the lines, links, or arrows between BPMN elements. They are used to represent the sequence in which different activities are executed, how messages are exchanged, and associations between elements. In our example, some arrows cross the lines between swim lanes, showing how portions of the work are executed by different roles within an organization. 6. Data objects and systems. Data objects are used or generated by activities. They represent information such as paper or electronic documents and data that is stored in a database. Data objects are most helpful for understanding the data flow in a model. They contain or provide essential information for the metrics and key process indicators determining whether business process goals are met. The model also shows how and at which points work activities are supported by different information systems. In our example, Systems that support this process include the Computerized Maintenance Management System, Geographic Information System, and the Capital Improvement Program database, as well as items such as spreadsheets, design reports, etc. Simulation of business processes provides quantitative information. Activity-based cost analysis. Examine metrics for benchmarking. Understand gaps and bottlenecks. Evaluate allocation of resources. Compare as-is and to-be cases. Quantitative support for recommended improvements. This video demonstrates the simulation of a work order processing business process model in BPMN. The model has one normal path that models handling a work order request, to reviewing the request, and finally scheduling the work. There are two exception paths, one in which the work order is not consistent with the budget, and one in which the work order is consistent with the budget but is not scheduled. Each case is simulated. The right-hand side of the screen displays the incremental costs, in dollars, process cycle time, and resource consumptions, for both the current run and the previous run. Simulations like this can help clarify costs, resource requirements, and bottlenecks. Summary. Business process models document and encapsulate knowledge, and allow us to understand how the work is performed. We can use business process models to analyze the impact of our actions, improve decision-making, solve performance problems. Using standards like BPMN allows us to share information within the utility, and with peers in other utilities. Learn more about BPMN. There are many software tools available, covering a range from free to enterprise class. For example, on the web, search BPMN software, BPMN examples, or BPMN training. Refer to the UAIM Modeling Guidelines document appendices for some additional resource suggestions. Services provided to utility partners and consultants during UAIM Phase 3 include Business Process Modeling and BPMN Training and Consulting. Congratulations! You have completed this introduction to business modeling and business process modeling notation.